brother and they kill your brother and your husband's still alive, that these men have right to take you and sleep with you against your will?
I love you. I'm just trying to.
I mean, this is what Allah the Most Merciful prescribed for these men. Do you believe that?
You don't even know.
Do you believe that it's right for Allah to prescribe that those women who were taken captive after battles, even if their husbands were still alive, were fair game to the lusting men of the Islamic army? That indeed, those who their right hand possesses, those who their right hand took captive, they had the right to sleep with them. Do you agree with that? How would you like to be on the opposite side of that? My friends, if you had a daughter, how would you like that to be your daughter being taken captive by some man, and because he won the battle, he gets to have your daughter as a sex slave? Consent out the window, right? I mean, Muhammad taught that a virgin's silence is her consent. That's what the Sahihs teach, my friends. Do you agree with that? Muhammad taught that women are inferior in their intellect to men, and that most of the inhabitants of hell are women. Do you agree with that? I don't agree with that, my friends. I don't believe that. I don't believe the God of heaven is making women inferior to men. I don't think the God of heaven is sending most of the people to hell. Most of them are women. And conveniently, heaven is like 70 virgins, and you faithful wives of the Muslims get to be queen among the virgins. That's your reward. And the men get their 70 virgins to sleep with. My friends, this is not a religion from God. This is a religion from a man who was obsessed with himself and who was seeking his own pleasure. I mean, the man took a 6-year-old to wife when he was 50 years old. That's Sahih al-Bukhari, my friends. Aisha, she testifies that she was 6 years old when she was taken to wife, and the marriage was consummated at 9. This is a 50-year-old man taking a 6-year-old girl as a wife. Do you agree? Do you agree with that, my friends? Is this right? You can try to call it culture if you want. It was not culture. My friends, God has given you a conscience. God has borne witness through the light of nature. God does not even make it possible for a 9-year-old to have a child, because it's not meant for a child to be married at that age, my friends. No, my friends, this is sin against God. This is great abominable wickedness. This is perversity from a man who prescribed 4 women as wives for everybody else, but conveniently Allah allowed him to have his some 9 to 11 wives. Somehow he is special. Somehow he has the right. And that is the truth, my friends. Sahih al-Bukhari relates that he visited all his wives even in one night at times. Yeah, you look it up for yourself, my son. It's right there on the paper, right there. The Sahih teachings are right there, my friend, where they reliably report that Muhammad had 9 to 11 wives, my friend. And he visited them all in one night at times. Look up the Sahihs, please, my friends. Search these things out, my friends. My friends, Muhammad taught that some of the Jews were turned into pigs. Muhammad taught that some of the Jews were turned into rats. Do you believe that? See, my friends, the religion of Muhammad is one that is self-invented, as he received revelations that justified him as he broke his oaths, as he lived his life of sin. Like when he was sleeping with the sex slave, the girl slave of one of his wives, and they were complaining about it. And he made an oath. He swore that he will never be with that girl, that slave girl again, until Muhammad gave a revelation that actually he's allowed to have this slave girl, and he shouldn't let his wives make him feel bad about it. Do you believe that? Do you believe that the God of heaven is busy giving revelations about the prophet's own personal life because he's swearing oaths that he doesn't have to actually make? Swearing oaths not to have sleep with this slave girl anymore, and then Allah wants to intervene. He wants to interject and let everybody know that actually Muhammad is allowed to sleep with this slave girl on top of his 9 to 11 other wives, including his 9-year-old wife who he married when he was 50 years old. Do you believe this is the God of the Bible? Is this the God of heaven? Is this the holy God of heaven and earth, my friends? Or is this a self-invented God for a man who worshipped himself and honored himself? The man says he saw weeping palm trees and talking stones and talking monkeys. The man said he saw monkeys stoning another monkey for adultery, and he joined in. Do you believe this, my friends, or is this fantasy and paganism? Is this a man who was more likely on some sort of trip from some sort of psychedelic drug rather than a holy man of God? This is a man, my friends, who led war campaigns.